everyone. Today I'm going to talk about hypo and hyperthyroid. Now the term hypo means deficiency of something and hyper means excess of something. Thyroid gland is a butterfly shaped gland that is located at the base of a neck. It manufactures and secretes thyroid hormones T3, tridothyronine, T4, thyroxine. These hormones play a very important role in regulating our metabolism. It's like a two-way communication. The thyroid gland secretes the hormones and the body reciprocates back, giving it a negative or a positive feedback. Now the problem in thyroid gland starts when the communication from the body is not there. For example, like a mother telling a child to do his homework. So if the child is not doing homework, the mother is shouting or nagging at to the child to complete the homework, or the mother will not at all communicate. She will stop nagging, or she'll stop telling the child to do the homework. This is exactly the same how it happens in thyroid glands. When there is no reciprocation, it leads to either overworking of the thyroid gland, leading to over-secretion of thyroid hormones, which is hyperthyroid, or the thyroid gland is not working hard enough, which is hypothyroid, where the hormones are not secreted enough. Now, what happens if a person has hypothyroid? This leads to slow metabolism, increase in weight. There's a swelling around the neck, which is called goiter. Gruff, low speech. Hair becomes dull, dry. Hair fall. Skin becomes dull and scaly. Nails become brittle. Intolerance to cold weather. Fatigue, tiredness. Excess sleepiness. A person is feeling tired even after sleeping for a while. Fertility and menstrual problems. Well, in case of hyperthyroid, there is increase in metabolism, leading to unexplained weight loss. Eye starts to protrude out. This is called Graves' disease. Excessive sweating, tremors, heart palpitation, muscle loss, muscle weakness, menstrual and fertility problems. Now, what are the reasons behind thyroid problems? Our environment plays a very important role in regulating our hormone levels. Our hormone system is very sensitive to toxins, stress levels, pollution, and so on. Now, there's something which is called as Oat Axis, O-A-T. Here, O stands for ovaries, A stands for adrenal gland, T stands for thyroid gland. These glands are related to each other. Overworking of one gland will affect the working of other glands. For example, if a person is highly stressed, this puts a lot of pressure on the adrenal glands to secrete cortisol. Now, this could lead to, this could be one of the options that could lead to thyroid problems. It could be hypothyroid for some or hyperthyroid for somebody else. Now, the other is estrogen dominance. We know estrogen is secreted by ovaries. Whenever a person is suffering from hyperthyroid, so there is estrogen dominance in that person. So there is, excessive bleeding, stomach pain. Women who are pregnant, they have estrogen dominance in them. There are a lot of pregnant women who might suffer from borderline hyperthyroid. People who are on HRT, hormone replacement therapy, women taking birth control pills. So these are the reasons behind estrogen dominance. Now, so whenever there is estrogen dominance, overworking of the ovaries, undermines or leads to underworking of thyroid gland. There is one more reason for estrogen dominance. People who are consuming excess amounts of processed soya, like soya granules, vegan patties which are made out of, these processed soya meats, mock meats. One should stop consuming foods that are high in these processed soya. Now, having natural form of soya products like edamame, fermented tofu like tempeh, miso, these are still okay. But processed soya products needs to be stopped. The other reason is people who are consuming high amounts of foods that contain sugar, refined flour, processed foods, junk foods. Now these foods raises our blood sugar levels, which leads to a spike in insulin. This affects our pancreas because the pancreas has to work hard enough to secrete insulin. Now, this may be one of the reasons people get thyroid problems. So, always be mindful and focus on foods that are natural, whole grain cereals and pulses, vegetables, good quality fats. Now, there is something which is called as endocrine disruptors. Endocrine means our hormone system. So, there are certain chemicals which are present in the environment that disrupt our endocrine system, leading to imbalances in hormones. These are, pesticides, fungicides, herbicides that are sprayed on foods. These are toxins that are very harmful for our hormone levels. Switch to organic foods. The other is BPA, which is found in plastic, which is also one of the very important reasons for causing hormone imbalances. Genetically modified foods, like the modern wheat. You should stop consuming genetically modified foods. These lead to hormone imbalances, thyroid problems. The other is having foods that are high in antibiotics, foods that are injected with hormones, like a conventional dairy. Please avoid such foods. They tend to cause cysts and nodules in our thyroid glands, which may cause problems later. Now, I've spoken about T3 and T4, which is the thyroid hormones. Now, 3 and 4 are iodine molecules that are attached to the thyroid hormone. T4 is an inactive form of thyroid hormone, and T3 is the active form. The inactive form of hormone gets converted to its active form by 80% liver and gallbladder and 20% kidney. Now, if a person is suffering from any kind of liver problems, or there is lack of bile, or the gallbladder has been removed, so there is always difficulty in conversion of the inactive form of thyroid hormone to its active form, leading to thyroid problems. I'll be speaking about iodine in the next video, so please stay tuned, as it is a continuation of thyroid issues. I would always suggest to consume cruciferous vegetables like kale, broccoli, green leafy vegetables, Brussels sprouts, cabbage, and so on. These tend to balance the estrogen dominance, which is one of the leading causes of causing thyroid problems. Now, if a person is suffering from hyperthyroid, he must have been told not to consume cruciferous vegetables because it contains a compound called goitrogens, which interferes with the uptake of iodine for the thyroid gland. We know that thyroid gland requires iodine for secretion of thyroid hormones. Now, the problem comes if a person is consuming large amount of cruciferous vegetables in its raw form throughout the day and not consuming any other major food groups like complex carbohydrates or proteins or some other vegetables or fat. That is quite a rare problem. Whenever we sit down to eat food, we should always focus on eating balanced foods that contain all the major macros and all the minor macros. So if the person is consuming only raw cruciferous vegetables throughout the entire day, then that could be one of the problems of thyroid. Having a cup of cooked cruciferous vegetable in a day would not be a problem. It is absolutely safe, even for a person who is suffering from hyperthyroid, to have a cup of cooked cruciferous vegetable in a day, because like I said earlier, it helps to balance the estrogen dominance. Include seaweed in your diet. Seaweed is a good source of iodine. Now, whatever points I have mentioned above is very individual specific. They may or they may not be applicable to you. I would always suggest that if a person has recently been found out that they have got hypo or hyperthyroid, they should reflect within themselves. They should identify whether these problems are applicable to them or not. Have they been facing with any kind of stress lately? Have they been consuming, more of, refined flour or sugary foods, or any of the points which I have mentioned above? I hope these points were useful. I'll be posting more videos related to nutrition and health. This is Menka Vijan signing off. Thank you.